Hello everybody, happy Halloween guys. Hope you had a good one. And today I am going to be making my predictions for game week number 10 of the 25-26 Premier League season. But before we begin, let's have a look at how I did last week. I got one scoreline bang on. That was the Friday night match, Leeds beating West Ham 2-1. And I got two more outcomes correct, so that is 5 points, taking my season total up to 63. And here is how the Premier League table looks after 9 matches. And without further ado, let's begin predicting this weekend's matches for tomorrow and Sunday. And we're going to start with not an easy match. It's Crystal Palace against Brentford. And yeah, this is a tricky one to predict. Brentford got a good win last week, I can't remember who it was against. Palace have started to fall off the boil a bit. They started strong. They did, of course, both these sides, in fact, played in the Carabao Cup midweek. They've both made the quarterfinals. Crystal Palace beating Liverpool, I think it was 3-0. And, of course, Brentford with that 5-0 win against Grimsby. Both away matches, I believe. But this one's tricky because I would say Brentford have been scoring more goals recently. But with Palace being the home side, I can see Palace getting something in this one. I'm actually going to I'm not entirely convinced by Brentford right now. I'm going to give Palace all 3 points here with a 2-1 win. I think Oliver Glasner's boys are going to push up the table with a win here. So 2-1 Palace. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest against Manchester United. And Man United with that incredible 4-2 victory against Brighton last week. And Forest, this is Sean Dyche's first home match as Forest boss. Of course, Forest did lose 2-0 to Bournemouth last week. I did predict a Bournemouth win, but 3-0 I said. With this being at the City ground, I would ordinarily fancy Forest to get something, but this is against the Man United squad who are firing on all cylinders right now. I just think Man United have too much in the tank for this Forest side at the minute, and Chris Wood is out for Forest, so that could be a bit of a problem for them. I'm going to back Man United to win. They tend to score goals. 3-1 United. I think United have finally started to gel under Amorim, and a win here could put them in the top 2. So 3-1 United. Next up, we've got Burnley against Arsenal. And Arsenal are currently top of the table right now. They are, well, incredible. They're winning games, but they're not exactly rolling teams over. They're winning by the odd goal. And Burnley with an incredible 3-2 victory, last-minute victory against Wolves last week. And with this being at Turf Moor, it wouldn't surprise me if Burnley got maybe a draw out of this with the way they've been performing recently. But I can't back against Arsenal, not with them being top of the table by 5 points. I think it is 4 or 5 points over their nearest rivals, Bournemouth. So I am backing Arsenal to win 2-1. I think Mikel Arteta and the lads are going to, push even further up the table. Well, they can't really, they're top, but I think they'll get another 3 points to remain top. So 2-1 Arsenal. Next up, we've got Brighton against Leeds. And this is a tricky one as well, because Leeds have been impressive recently. They've been getting results over the line, wins and draws here and there. Brighton were in good form. They've kind of started to drop off at the minute, but at the Amex against the Leeds, I think Brighton can get something. I'm not quite, with the way Leeds have played at the minute, I'm not quite going to give them all 3 points, but I'm going to give them a share of the spoils with a 2-2 draw on this one. I think a Desmond would suit both sides. Leeds in their pursuit for survival, mid-table, and Brighton to hopefully push on towards Europe. So 2-2. Next up, we've got the last of the 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow. It's Fulham against Wolves in a big relegation 6-pointer match, really. Yeah, I know it's weird. Fulham are down there. I didn't expect them to be down there at the start of the season, and I still don't expect Fulham to be in the bottom 4 or 5 come the end of the season. But they haven't been getting the results over the line too consistently at the minute. And Wolves, well, they're currently bottom of the table. They've lost to all 3 promoted sides now. Things are looking really, really bad for Wolves right now. And I wouldn't surprise me if Raul Jimenez came and scored against his former club here. But yeah, I think with this being at Craven Cottage, I think Fulham, against the Wolves side that are really struggling, I think Fulham will get the win here, and I don't see Wolves getting anything. So I'm going Fulham to win 2-0. I think they'll keep a clean sheet in the process on their way to 3 points. So 2-0 Fulham, and one of the only times I've really backed Fulham to win this season, I realised. And then we move on to the 5:30 kickoff. It is a huge London derby. It is Tottenham against Chelsea. And these are 2 of the London clubs, the big London clubs that are on fairly good form. Well, Chelsea have been on fairly shaky form recently. They've been getting results over the line in certain matches, and then, I think they went and lost 3-1, 3-0 to Brighton a couple of weeks ago, but they can get results over the line. Their squad looks strong even without Cole Palmer in it. But Spurs, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it wouldn't surprise me if Tottenham came here and got the win. But looking at Chelsea, I can't quite back Spurs to get a win here, but I am going to sit on the fence with a 2-2 draw. I can see goals in this one, but I think, this game has had many goals in it in the past, and I think another Desmond here, so 2-2. And then we move on to tomorrow's late kickoff. It is Liverpool against Aston Villa. And Liverpool under Arne Slot, they've only had, I think in all competitions, 1 win in 6. That 1 win was in the Champions League, a 5-1 victory against Eintracht Frankfurt. But other than that, it's been really bleak for Liverpool. All their new signings haven't really gelled, other than Ekitike. Yeah, I think Slot's really got to sort it out here. But against the Aston Villa side, who are on red-hot form right now, they just beat Man City last week 1-0. So that was pretty impressive result on Villa's part. They've really got the ball rolling after their tricky start to the campaign. And I think they'll come to Anfield and get the 3 points to keep the ball rolling. I'm going for Villa to win 2-1 and Liverpool to make it 5 losses in a row in the Prem. To drop them even further down, I don't know what's going on with them, but I do back Villa to win 2-1. Next up, we've got West Ham against Newcastle. And this is another tricky one. Well, not really, because West Ham have been really struggling recently. And Newcastle, they've been on fairly good form. They haven't scored many goals this season, granted, but they have been on great form at the minute. They're pushing up. I think they're currently in the mid-table section, between 12th and 14th. I can't quite remember where they are. West Ham are second bottom, I think they're 19th. With Nuno, it wouldn't surprise me if they started to get the ball rolling eventually, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about him at the minute. Even at home, the London Stadium, it looks very bleak. I am going for Newcastle to win, and just with the state that West Ham have been in recently, I am going to back Newcastle for a heavy win, 3-1. I think Newcastle will get the 3 points on and move the chains up the table further. So 3-1 Newcastle. Next up, we've got a big match towards the top end of the table. It's Manchester City against Bournemouth. And Man City, believe it or not, it is actually Bournemouth who are higher in the table. I didn't expect that necessarily after 9 matches, but it is the case. It's the Spaniard derby. Pep Guardiola and Andoni Areola. I just think with this being at the Etihad, Man City just have the quality as well. And impressive as Bournemouth have been this season, I think Man City have the quality to win here. But I think there'll be goals. A lot of goals in this game. I am backing City to win, but let's give them quite a few goals. Let's go for a 3-2 Man City win here. Have no doubt Haaland will score one of them, at least one of them. I mean, Krupi for Bournemouth has been on fire recently, so I am backing City to win, but narrowly and with quite a few goals. 3-2 City. And then the final match is the David Moyes derby. It is Sunderland against Everton. And of course, Moyes is currently with Everton. He's going up against a Reggie Labrie side at Sunderland, who is firing the goals in on all cylinders, getting the results over the line. They're currently 4th in the table. I mean, with this being at the Stadium of Light, I was tossing and turning, thinking either a Sunderland win or a draw. But this is at the Stadium of Light, and you guys know I like Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. So let's keep their excellent form at the start of the season to continue with a 2-1 win at the Stadium of Light for Sunderland. I think the home side and the fans will be rocking, especially given their position in the table. So I'm giving Sunderland the win 4-1, and that could push them into the top 2 this season with, well, this weekend with all my predictions of Spurs drawing and Bournemouth losing. So 2-1 Sunderland. And there you have it, guys. All 10 Premier League matches for Gameweek 10 done and dusted. I keep saying it, make sure to comment your own predictions down below. And yeah, we'll see how well I do in this week's set of matches. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.